All right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into custom fur coats.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. So, we found this really interesting guide by eFurs,
Okay,
which is a company that specializes in custom fur coats.
I see.
And I thought it'd be really interesting to kind of go through the different things that they talk about
Yeah,
in terms of like how to design your own.
have some.
And it is really, really interesting stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about this.
So first of all, they start off by talking about style.
Okay.
Like really nailing down what your personal style is, and how you're going to be using this coat,
Mm.
because obviously you can have like a super glam, like special occasion fur coat, or you can have something a bit more casual.
Yeah.
And they actually point out that a lot of times like fox fur is used for a more casual look,
Uh-huh.
and then mink is used for a more like classic, elegant
I see.
kind of a look.
Yeah.
And then okay, so this is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
They have a whole section on color. So, like, they're doing mink in, like, pinks and reds and purples
Wow.
and even stripes.
It's really,
I know, it's crazy, right?
that's amazing.
I'm picturing, like, a hot pink mink coat right now.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because like color in fur has been a thing for centuries.
Really?
Oh yeah, like if you think about it, people have been dyeing fur
Yeah.
to either like enhance the natural colors or to completely transform them.
Wow. I had no idea.
That's for a long time.
So it's not, like, a new modern thing?
No, not at all.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, so then they talk about, like, the different types of fur that you can choose from.
Right.
So, obviously mink and fox, but also chinchilla and sable, all sorts of different.
Yeah, and they all have such unique qualities. Like
Yeah.
chinchilla is so incredibly soft and delicate,
Right.
and sable is known for its luxurious sheen and warmth.
Oh, and sable was, like, super popular with, like, Russian royalty back in the day.
Oh yeah, it has a very like regal history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where things get even more interesting.
Cool.
It's not just full coats. They also talk about, like, custom collars
Wow.
and hoods and even fur slides.
Fur slide.
Bells, I know.
That's awesome.
So you can add a little touch of fur
Yeah, just like a little
to
tip,
any outfit.
like an accent.
I know.
That's so cool.
Okay, so we've talked about, like, style, fur, type, color.
Right.
What else? What's next?
Well, we got to talk about length.
Okay.
Because obviously a short crop jacket is going to give you a totally different vibe than a long
Right.
sweeping coat.
Right.
So they talk about that contrast, like short for more of a modern feel and long for that like classic luxury look.
Yeah, and I feel like historically, length has also been associated with, like,
Oh, totally.
wealth and status, right?
Absolutely. The longer the coat, like the more important the person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've got, like, the big picture stuff figured out.
Okay.
But now we're getting into the nitty-gritty.
All right.
And eFurs stresses this, like, over and over again.
What's that?
Accurate measurements are everything.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they say, like, measure your chest, your waist, sleeve length, and hips if you're going for a longer coat.
Right. Because, I mean, if you think about it, a skilled furrier
Yeah.
needs those precise measurements to be able to create something that fits
Right.
and
You
drapes
really
beautifully.
Exactly. And they give all these tips on how to take the measurements properly.
Like what?
Like, wearing thin clothing,
Okay.
making sure the tape measure is snug but not too tight.
Mm-hmm.
And then they even say, like, when you're measuring your hips, like,
Yeah.
move the tape measure around a little bit to find, like, the widest point.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Yeah, so it's all about precision.
Right.
So I think this is a good place to pause for now.
Okay.
We've talked about choosing the right fur type, exploring different colors and lengths, and even touched upon the historical significance of fur.
It's been a lot.
I know, right? But there's still so much more to uncover.
Oh, yeah.
So stay tuned, because in the next part of our deep dive, we're going to be tackling those topics head on. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and get ready for part 2 of our custom fur coat adventure.
Awesome.
Welcome back to our deep dive.
All right. So last time we left off talking about those measurements.
Yeah, like getting them right.
Super important.
And now it's time for, like, the fun part.
Okay.
The customization.
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting.
Like, really making this coat uniquely you.
You're not limited to what's just hanging on the rack.
Right, exactly.
You can get as creative as you want.
So they mentioned, like, custom collars and hoods.
Mm-hmm.
But what other kinds of customizations are we talking?
Well, think about like all the little details.
Okay.
Like you can customize the lining, you can add pockets, you can do embellishments, you can even like incorporate different types of fur.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Like, imagine a mink coat, but with fox fur trim.
Exactly. Or like a chinchilla collar.
Ooh.
The
Ooh.
possibilities are kind of endless.
I know. I'm getting excited just thinking about it.
Right.
But this level of customization, this requires some serious expertise.
Oh, absolutely. You need to find a skilled furrier.
Okay, so how do you even go about finding one?
Well, it is a pretty niche field, but start by doing some research online.
Okay.
Look for furriers who have like a proven track record,
Mm-hmm.
positive customer reviews, maybe ask for recommendations.
Word of mouth.
Exactly.
Okay, so you've like found a few.
Yeah.
What's next? Do you just walk in and be like, make me a coat?
Not quite.
Okay.
I would recommend scheduling like consultations
Oh, okay.
with a few different furriers.
Gotcha.
This is your chance to like get to know them, talk about your visions, see if their style aligns with yours.
It's like finding the right architect to build your house.
Exactly. You want to make sure you're on the same page.
Right.
So yeah, pay attention to how they listen to your ideas, how
Yeah.
passionate they are about their craft.
Okay, and probably like pricing and stuff too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Transparency is key. Don't be afraid to ask about their sourcing practices, their turnaround time, anything that's on your mind.
Mm.
A good furrier should be open and honest with you.
Okay, so you found the perfect furrier, you had your consultation.
Right.
Now the fun begins.
Yeah.
What does that process actually look like?
So it starts with the furrier, taking your measurements,
Mm-hmm.
and then creating a pattern based on your specific body shape and the style of the coat.
And those measurements have to be like super precise.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Even a tiny mistake can throw off the entire fit.
Okay, so the pattern's made. What happens next?
So then it's time to select the pelts.
Okay.
The furrier will carefully inspect each pelt for its quality,
Uh-huh.
color, texture to make sure they're a perfect match for your coat.
So each coat is really like a one of a kind.
Exactly.
Wow.
They're like pieces of a puzzle, and the furrier has to find the ones that fit together seamlessly.
That's so cool. Okay, so the pelts are selected.
Right.
What happens then?
Then they're meticulously cut and sewn together following that pattern.
Okay, and then come the finishing touches.
Yeah.
The lining, the buttons, all that stuff.
All the little details that make it
Yeah.
perfect.
So how long does this whole process usually take?
Well, it really depends
Yeah.
on the complexity of the design, the furrier's workload. Yeah. But it can take anywhere from a few months to a year.
Wow. That's quite a wait.
It is, but
Yeah.
trust me, it's worth it.
Okay, so you've waited patiently.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, you've got this custom fur coat.
Yeah.
How do you take care of it?
Well, proper storage is essential.
Okay.
You want to store your coat in a cool, dry place, ideally in a breathable garment bag.
Yeah, okay.
And you want to avoid hanging it in direct sunlight or near any heat sources because that can damage the fur.
Got it.
And then for cleaning,
Can you just throw it in the washing machine?
absolutely not.
Okay.
Fur is very delicate. It needs special care.
Okay.
So it's best to take your coat to a professional fur cleaner.
Okay.
They have the expertise and the equipment to clean it properly.
Gotcha. Professional cleaning it is.
Yes.
Any other tips?
Yeah, avoid spraying perfumes or hairspray directly on the fur
Okay.
because those chemicals can dry it out.
Mhm.
And if your coat gets wet, just gently shake off any excess water.
Okay.
Hang it to dry naturally away from heat.
Okay, so treat it like the precious artwork that it is.
Exactly. With a little bit of care and attention, your coat can last for years and years.
Awesome. And we are back for the final part of our deep dive on custom fur coats.
It's been quite a journey.
I know, right from choosing the fur to finding the right furrier.
Absolutely.
And speaking of furriers, last time we were talking about all that goes into actually making a custom fur coat.
Right. All those steps.
It's pretty amazing.
It is. But, there's one more thing we haven't really talked about.
Right.
The history of fur itself.
Oh, right. Fur's been around forever.
Oh, yeah, for a long time.
Like, I remember vaguely from school, early humans using animal skins for warmth.
Exactly. Evidence suggests that people were using animal hides as clothing as far back as the Ice Age. For those harsh climates, it was essential for survival, providing insulation and protection.
Makes sense.
And even camouflage for hunting.
Right, so it started out of necessity,
Yeah.
but I'm guessing it didn't stay that way.
As societies developed, fur kind of took on new meanings.
Okay.
It became a symbol of status, wealth, power.
Oh, yeah.
Think about those images of Roman emperors draped in lion skins or Viking chieftains with their wolf pelts.
Yeah, totally projecting that authority.
Exactly. And fur played a huge role in trade and commerce for centuries.
Oh, for sure.
It was a highly valuable commodity.
Yeah, and I remember reading about the fur trade being a big driver of, exploration and colonization.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a complicated history.
It is fascinating, though, how fur has been so intertwined with the development of human civilization.
Yeah, and now it's like gone beyond just a material.
Right.
It's like an art form,
It really is an art form.
especially when we're talking about working with a skilled furrier to create a custom piece.
So can you break down that process a bit more? Like what actually happens when they're making the coat?
Sure, so after the furrier takes those super precise measurements
Uh-huh.
and creates that pattern,
Right.
they'll start selecting the pelts.
Okay.
And they'll meticulously examine each pelt for quality color texture,
Yeah.
making sure they're the perfect match.
So each coat really is one of a kind.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
not just about grabbing any old piece of fur.
Right.
There's a lot of thought that goes into it.
So they've picked out the pelts.
Yeah. Then comes the process of cutting and sewing them together, following that pattern.
Mm-hmm. And then the finishing touches.
Yes, the lining the buttons, the closures.
It's incredible how many details go into it.
I know, it's a real testament to the furrier's skill.
Okay, so let's say you've waited patiently.
Mm-hmm.
Your custom fur coat is finally ready.
You're so excited.
How do you take care of it?
Well, proper storage is key.
Okay.
You want to store your coat in a cool, dry place, ideally in a breathable garment bag. And avoid hanging it in direct sunlight or near heat
Okay.
that can damage the fur.
So what about cleaning? Can you just like throw it in the washing machine?
Oh, no, no, no.
Okay.
Fur is delicate. It needs special care.
Right.
You want to take your coat to a professional fur cleaner.
Okay.
They have the expertise and the equipment to clean it properly.
Professional cleaning it is?
Yes.
Any other care tips?
Yeah, I'd say avoid spraying perfumes or hairspray directly on the fur.
Okay.
Those chemicals can dry it out.
Makes sense.
And if your coat gets wet, just gently shake off any excess water,
Mm-hmm.
hang it to dry naturally away from heat.
Okay, so basically treat it like the artwork it is.
Exactly. With a little care and attention, your custom fur coat can last for years and years.
Well, I think that about wraps up our deep dive into the world of custom fur coats.
It's been fun.
It really has. It's been fascinating learning about everything from the history of fur to the actual process of making a custom piece.
Absolutely.
So if you're thinking about getting a custom fur coat, remember to do your research, find a reputable furrier, and most importantly, have fun with it.
Let your personal style shine through.
That's all for today's deep dive.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep exploring.